Hello, so it's been a really long time since I made a video, so I thought I'd do a quick update. This might turn out to be a fairly long video because I haven't updated in so long. So, here we go. Facial hair, you can kind of see I've got a bit of a strap going underneath there. That's about the extent of it. Decent chin hair. It still looks really scraggly because it's fairly fair, I guess you would say. It's actually pretty ginger in the sunlight, but in just regular light it looks dark or blonde or maybe a little bit red, but it's actually super ginger, so it's pretty fair. And that's the problem that both my brothers have had with growing facial hairs. Their hair is really fair as well. So, like, I've got, some random hairs up in my cheeks too, but it's still filling out. I've got two really random patches coming in on those bits right there. But another reason that it probably hasn't filled out more since the last time is because I haven't taken my shot in probably like 9 months. The reason being, I stopped being able to give myself self-injections. My mom was doing my injections for me, and it just became a bit of a pain in the ass. Not literally. Yeah, I never get around to it. It just got put off so many times. And the only downside to not taking it is that I get my monthly friend back. And that is probably worth it to actually take it so that I don't get that. And I've been meaning to be back on them for a long time now, but hopefully that will actually be happening soon. Otherwise, it's 3 years this past summer since I started taking hormones. But I guess you might not even count one of the years because I stopped taking them. Yeah, so 3 years ago, I slipped into a bit more of a depression. And I was still making videos at that time. It was right when I started taking tea, actually. So, yeah, so things have been a bit rough for the past 3 years. I'm not going to talk about specifics because it involves other people, and I know that they don't want me to talk about it, so I won't. Suffice it to say that I've been having a bit of a hard time. So, and otherwise, I've been having a bit of a hard time physically. I started to develop, I already had digestive problems, but I started to develop swelling joint problems. So I was really scared that it was rheumatoid arthritis because my half-sister has that. But we didn't think that it was on my side of the family. It was on her side of the family. So for a while I thought it was that, and doctors weren't really helping me at all. Most of them said that they thought it was rheumatoid arthritis. I went to a rheumatoid doctor. He said he was 80% sure it was diet-related. So eventually, actually just this past winter, I saw a homeopath or one of those types of doctors, and she actually took a blood test, and I found out that I was born without the enzymes in my digestive system to actually digest cane sugar products and dairy products. I'm not lactose intolerant. I'm actually allergic to more than just the lactose. I'm allergic to a protein in dairy products and whey, which is, like one of the main ingredients in protein powder, right? And whey is actually in a lot of things. I mean, it's in margarine, it's in bread a lot of the time, along with sugar. Sugar's in a lot of stuff, right? And when I was a young child, I abused junk food as a self-medication for depression. So, my body suffered for a long time because I didn't even know that. And now that I know it, it's still really hard to deal with because sugar and dairy is in a lot of things. And I'm also super addicted to sugar. So, still trying to deal with that. Unfortunately, it's been almost about 3 years since the swelling of joints has started, and when it started, it was just like occasionally, an appendage would swell up, and it would last for a day, 2 days at the most, or like 1.5. But now, in the past 6 months, it's gotten to the point where a lot of my joints are swollen every day, and it doesn't go away. So both my wrists, one of my ankles, my knee, one hip, my shoulders, and a couple of fingers on each side. So it's really rough right now. I can't really do a lot of physical stuff, which of course would really help because, I'm swollen. It's not. It's hard to deal with. Yeah. So what else? Yeah, hair everywhere. I'm lucky because it's really soft hair. It's not like really coarse body hair. My dad's body hair is supposedly really soft, so says my mother, so I probably get that from him. But I've got a pretty good back beard, and the hairs on my forearms are longer and darker, and it's growing up onto my hands and, just everywhere. And, yeah, my voice is definitely settled, obviously. Still working on my singing stuff. I'm a lot more comfortable with it now, but I don't play music as much recently because all of my band members and friends who I played music with are mostly gone from the city where I live. So I don't have much opportunity to play music anyway, and my limbs are all swollen, so I can't play anyway. So, career-wise, things were looking down for a really long time until about a year ago. I got in touch with my friend who I hadn't been in touch with for a while, and we've decided to make a documentary, which is my other passion in life, film and acting. So we're doing that, and hopefully that might open up some new pathways for me career-wise, and if it doesn't, then I will probably actually, I've talked about it before in my other videos, I will actually probably leave my city because there are no other opportunities for me here. I will probably go live in the country with one of my best friends. I talked about that before again, in BC. And I've wanted to leave my city since I was a teenager, but every time I tried, something sort of got in the way. And now, after wanting to go for so long, it feels like there's actually an opportunity for me to stay and possibly improve the city that I'm living in. Hopefully, maybe, if anything comes of what I'm doing. So I'm going to try that, and if it doesn't work out, then I'm fucking out of here. I'm living with my parents again right now because I just moved out. But we got bed bugs, and they aren't going away. And I react pretty badly to the bites. I guess it's, standard reaction. Really big red welts that itch like a motherfucker. So I couldn't stay there, And my roommate, he doesn't have a reaction to the bites at all. So, yeah. Whatever. I'm not even going to talk about that right now. Yeah. I'm sure there's... Oh, yeah. I'm still pre-op on everything because I decided a long time ago that I wasn't going to get top surgery until I feel physically healthy in more than one way. Like my body is just shit right now for many reasons. I'm still overweight, which is probably also to do with my digestive issues, as well as I just don't eat very well, which I'm trying to get on. So I want to be in shape when I do it, but I also want to build a bit of pec muscles, because I hear firsthand that if you have a good bit of muscle, then the surgery goes a lot easier for the doctor, because if you're underweight or overweight, there could be an issue with the fat distribution. They might leave too much behind, they might take too much away, so it would just make things a lot easier if you have a little bit of muscle, and that's my decision. So it's been a long time coming, and it's still a really big pain in the ass, but I can't do it right now anyway, you know. And only just recently, in the past year or two, did they actually allow for insurance coverage for those surgeries in my province in Canada. Name change stuff. I still haven't legally changed my name or my gender because, again, same thing in my province. Until just this year, you still couldn't have your gender marker changed until you had all the surgeries, or most of them. So, I didn't want to do the whole get everything changed once to change my name and then do it all again to get my gender marker changed. So when they finally changed that rule this year, I tried to get on that, but when I finally did call people about getting the forms for changing my name, and I asked them about the gender marker thing, they were like, oh yeah, well, you know, they said they were going to change it, and they were supposed to change it like 2 months ago, but it's still going through its process, and blah, 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 so I don't even know when that's going to be ready, which is another pain in the ass, because my ID actually just expired, so, waiting for that to happen. Yeah, so just getting along here, you know, you know, it's whatever. Chugging along. I'm still optimistic about a lot of things, but other shit's just really hectic and shitty right now. That's all I can think of. I guess I've never talked about my views of bottom surgery, so I'll just mention that briefly. Like most guys, probably at least half FTM guys like me either choose to not get the surgery at all, or, you know, they say that they're waiting for something better, which is kind of what I'm doing. And in the past few years, there's been some news of an American doctor who is growing body parts. You know, he got interested in the field for American soldiers who are coming back with missing body parts, or, you know, people who need organ transplants. And the issues of, you know, your body rejecting organs, or, you know, missing limbs. And in particular, he did actually mention, you know, guys who step on landmines losing their junk, and the options for surgery there and stuff like that is not necessarily the most amazing thing. So he's actually been working on growing dicks. I can't really say it any other way, right? So that was looking really cool. It was kind of like, oh, well, in a decade I might actually be able to grow my own dick from my own DNA. But unfortunately, I think just recently they posted another article that said that it wouldn't work with trans guys because you need a certain type of cell to grow certain parts or whatever. I don't know. But, you know, since the technology has already gotten to that point, I figure another couple decades and something better should come along. Which is unfortunate because, like most FTM guys, or the majority of them, or at least half of them, I'm really not satisfied in terms of my junk. I haven't been in a relationship for 3 years, so it hasn't been that much of a problem, because of course that's where the problem is biggest when it comes to that for me, you know, sexual relationships. That's when it's the hardest. So I'll deal with that as it comes, right? Yeah, otherwise, can't think of anything else. Yeah, alright. It's long enough now. I will take my leave.